Up on Mountain News this morning, investigation is underway involving a deadly shooting situation in one eastern Kentucky county. And the Kentucky Police Department steps up to help officers right here in Hazard as they continue helping with the flood recovery effort.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. 5:34, and this Wednesday is feeling like a Monday for me. You all just missed it. They were checking something, and the music that plays when I'm reading when I'm doing the teases, I was starting to read that, and they're like, "No, Dakota, you're not on air." And the page was looking like, "What is going on?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just here. Yeah. I'm here," and I told them, I said, "Whenever I hear the music, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
So I think everybody is.
Yeah. Everyone ready to go. I think it's that Wednesday hump. You know, you're kind of like there, and you're ready just to go towards the end of the week and into the weekend. But for this Wednesday, we are dealing with those pretty foggy conditions out there. As we look along US 119, US 23, and Pikeville, you can see some of that fog. Not super dense there, but dense definitely in other spots like Hazard to Harlan to Middlesboro, down into parts of really far southeastern Kentucky, right along that Kentucky-Tennessee line, and then up towards parts of northeastern Kentucky and along that Kentucky to West Virginia line. So looking at that dense fog throughout those morning hours, once again, just like we did yesterday, and it looks like it could kind of spread out in coverage closer to about 7 a.m. That's typically when it gets kind of the worst, and then it gets better after that, especially with that sun rising between that 9-10 o'clock time frame. I definitely think we'll see that visibility get a whole lot better. Temperatures into those lower 60s, upper 50s down towards Williamsburg and Monticello, but 63 Middlesboro to 61 Somerset, a 59 in Richmond to 63 Jackson, 59 in Logan as well, 63 here in Hazard, and 61 right now in Wise. Those dew points also in the lower 60s, upper 50s. I'm going to say we're closer to that comfortable stage. It might be a little sticky out there, but it's a whole lot better than the dew points we've been used to. And as we head into the rest of the day today, temperatures expected to get into about the upper 70s once again. Very isolated downpours, but more rain and storms heading towards the weekend. I got details on that coming up.
All right, Paige, thank you. Well, over in Johnson County, investigation continues after a man was found with a gunshot wound, and his young daughter was found dead just 2 miles away. Our Jordan Mullins has more from sheriff's deputies on the chain of events that led to the devastating recovery.
On Thursday, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office received and responded to a call in Van Leer on Millers Creek Road. The callers reported that they found a man who appeared to be beaten up, but deputies later discovered more injuries after EMS arrived.
It was found that the male subject had what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Soon after, more tips started coming in about a missing child, who happened to be the 12-year-old daughter of the man discovered earlier. A search party was scheduled, but the child was found dead before the search could begin.
Some people was driving through the area on that particular strip job, approximately 2.5 miles away from where the male subject was found, and they located a young female that was laying in the roadway.
Community members and deputies are in shock, confused as to how anyone could kill an innocent child.
We're a small, close-knit, family-based community, and this is just not understandable how this can happen here.
Deputies also say they believe the child's father is a suspect in the case, but are investigating further leads and continue to find more details on the violent crime.
We're doing everything we can do at the Sheriff's Office on this investigation to make sure that justice is served on this, and the person responsible for the death of this young girl, is prosecuted.
Taking the proper steps to ensure justice is served. In Johnson County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
The man found with deputies believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound was taken to a nearby hospital where deputies say he is still receiving medical care. His condition remains unknown at this time. One man is dead after a struggle led to a shooting in Lawrence County Tuesday morning. Sheriff's deputies say they responded to the Peach Orchard area following reports of shots fired related to a possible burglary. A witness told deputies one suspect, identified as Jerry Lee Maynard, was found in the woods by the property owner who had a gun. Deputies say Maynard tried to take the gun from the property owner and a fight began, resulting in Maynard being shot and killed. A warrant was also issued for a second suspect, Green Ramey. He was also arrested. A report from the Marines says pilot error is to blame for a deadly helicopter crash that killed 4 Marines during a training exercise in Norway in March. One of the 4 killed was Corporal Jacob Moore of Catlettsburg, Kentucky. Officials say it is not known who was controlling the aircraft at the time of the crash. They say the crash was the result of a series of low-altitude aerial moves that exceeded the aircraft's maximum angle of the bank. It is suspected those maneuvers triggered a loss of altitude, airspeed, and turning room, and the crew could not recover. Well, an Eastern Kentucky native and a naval chaplain who serves in Florida is back home, along with other servicemen helping flood victims. Joshua Holland is from Knott County, and once other sailors and Marines that served with him learned of the damage, they all collectively decided to help. Our Phil Pendleton shows us the work they are doing.
I mean, if you go look at that church over there.
Joshua Holland is helping people in his hometown. You might say they are his childhood friends, but he uses a different word.
Because when you grow up in Eastern Kentucky, you don't have friends, you don't have, acquaintances. Everybody here is your family.
Holland is a U.S. Navy chaplain who serves in Florida. Upon learning of the devastation, he and 9 other Marines and sailors drove up to spend a week working in Knott County.
I think their house probably had 6-8 feet of water in it, so we're just literally cleaning everything out. Like so many houses in Eastern Kentucky, everything's got to go.
And little did Holland know that one of his first assignments when he came back home would be to help a childhood friend, a home that he had not been to in decades. The owner of that home is Kyle Vance, who Holland says has ignored his own troubles to focus on others.
There's people like Kyle who has lost everything, but Kyle hasn't even stopped since the flooding happened.
Some people call servicemen and women heroes. Holland calls people of Eastern Kentucky who won't stop until their neighbors are helped first the real heroes of the holler. In Knott County,
there's heroes in these hollers, and I hope that's what you guys will put on the news.
Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, Holland says he and his servicemen will be in Eastern Kentucky until the end of the week. Well, Governor Andy Beshear has called on all Kentuckians to help in the flood relief effort as part of Team Kentucky, and police in Richmond are stepping up for Eastern Kentucky. Richmond police officers just returned from a trip to the mountains where they dropped off supplies donated by the community and even donated a cruiser to Hazard Police. Ronnie Richardson is the Richmond police chief. He says acts like this are just what you do when your neighbors are in need.
We've made contact with Hazard, the city of Hazard, and they were in need of a police car. So we took one of our cars currently in our fleet and was able to donate that to them. Living here and the people care about other people, and they just do what needs to be done to ensure others are taken care of.
Chief Richardson says some of his officers are trying to organize another trip to Eastern Kentucky in the coming weeks. He says they were told the biggest need right now is more people willing to help. Harlan Independent School officials are celebrating the completion of another phase in their renovation process. A ribbon cutting was held at the new and improved cafeteria. Local and school officials as well as staff were all invited to enjoy the new lunchroom before the first day of school.
Some of our buildings hadn't seen some major renovations in a long time, and so while we've got wonderful instruction and great teachers, they need great spaces to work in.
Students will be back on campus today, and staff believe the students will be excited about these changes. Well, just had this morning, a famous rapper releases a new product to help get rid of those morning munchies. That's coming up next.
And we're mostly dry for the next couple of days, but those rain and storms increase as we head towards the weekend. I'll look at that 7-day forecast coming up.